Attention! Case 36 from the Book of Serenity. Master Ma is unwell. Master Ma was unwell. The monastery superintendent asked him, "Master, how is your venerable state?" The master responded, "Sun-face Buddha, moon-face Buddha." Yes. That's kind of high. Yeah? Okay. You guys can hear me, right? And the folks on screen hear me? What is unwell? How is that defined, and how long does it last? Is one unwell for the time being, more than a time being, forever? The superintendent saw something that made him ask after Master Ma's health. And Master Ma, giving nothing away, says, "Sun-face Buddha, moon-face Buddha." I saw a colleague a few weeks ago at my watchmaking job in the cafeteria. And this is one of these women that looks fabulous all the time. It's irritating, but she looks fabulous all the time. And all of us were talking about the rain. We were tired of the cold, and how we wanted to do other things in warm weather. And I said to her, "Girl, you just want to get out there and go golfing." Golfing is her life. She met her husband because he was a doubles partner on a golf tournament with her. And vacations for them are nothing if there's not a golf course. Holding up her bandaged left hand, she said, "Maybe not until this is a little better." "What happened?" I inquired. She said that her cancer treatments had affected her ability to properly use her hand. I was surprised because I hadn't heard she was sick. And I said what people often say to someone, which is, "Wow, you don't look ill." She said, "And I don't feel ill." I never did. Her cancer was discovered through a routine physical. She said, "I don't feel ill, and it's only stage 1. Really? Only stage 1? It was the casualness and the seeming absence of fear that got me in her reply. What is unwell? What is illness? My mother is in a nursing home in Chicago on the skilled nursing floor. She is unable to walk or feed herself, and she can't take care of even her most basic hygiene needs for herself. Mom is considered unwell. One day while in Chicago visiting her, I asked her, as I was feeding her, "Mom, how do you feel?" "Great!" She had the biggest smile on her face when she said this. Now, there have been moments when she's made it very clear that she's not thrilled with the situation that she's in. And yet, not even for the time being does she consider herself sick. What is it? What is it that my brother, my sister, me, and the nursing home staff sees that says Elva Posey is sick? When I see my mother, I do see sun-faced Buddha. I see a radiant, smiling, happy woman who's thrilled to see her children and her grandchildren enter her room. In my hospital work as a chaplain, I and other staff see illness often. Or so we think. Patients who actually are very ill complain that they are being treated like a sick person. And patients whose charts say they've progressed and are okay enough to go home say, "Where's the compassion? I'm sick." We, all of us, everyone here, we forget sometimes to treat the illness and be with the person. The person is not the illness. I heard someone say once to meet people where they are, but don't leave them there. I've heard it said that right now there is rampant illness going on in the world. Multiple wars, catastrophes, famine, climate disasters, and the politics and social discourse of not just this country, but all over the world. I often feel like we are all the superintendent, only we haven't stopped to inquire if the world, as Master Ma, is well. I have 3 cats, as many of you know, and as many of you have seen when I'm wearing black. One of them, Oscar, threw up as I was working on this koan. When Oscar throws up, he does it 3 times in a row. Puke, walk. Puke, walk a little further in the apartment. And puke one more time. I don't have to inquire or wonder whether he's unwell. At that moment, he is. This Master Ma has eaten his food too fast and has a hairball. When I see patients at the hospital, after I've introduced myself and asked if I might visit with them, I'll ask them how they are this day at this moment. One response is an enthusiastic, "I'm great," while their eyes fill with tears. Another responds, "I'm tired." And yet, there is a smile, there is warm energy, and a hand extended in greeting. Sun-faced Buddha, moon-faced Buddha. I'm left wondering, can one be both? For the time being, these past few months, I've been waking up and moving through my day, thinking also of case 12 from the Mumonkan called Zhuigan Calls Master. when he asks himself every day if he is awake and responds to himself that he is and vows not to be deceived. Every day, I am a combination of Master Zhuigan and the superintendent. Every day, I inquire of myself out loud at home when I wake up and quietly as I move through my day. Sherry, how is your venerable state? Sherry, how is your venerable state these days? Some days the reply is sun-faced Buddha. Some days it's moon-faced Buddha. Sometimes I start out with one, and by lunch, it's the other. And then sometimes on the subway, it's back again. I see the look on your face, the thought bubbles in the room above your heads. Okay, Sherry, Jyakuen, whatever. What does any of this have to do with me? Everything. It's not just about illness, although that is important. But it's also about how observant we are of ourselves and others. And how do we listen to ourselves and others? We are told about how busy the superintendent is and has been. And at this moment, he stopped, looked, exhibited curiosity, listened. It was in that moment the appropriate response. It was appropriate to stop and, with best intentions, bear witness to Master Ma, to see him and to hear him. Ed Pavlik, in his book of poetry called Call It in the Air, about his sister's OD and subsequent death. In this book, the first poem takes place in the Denver ICU, where she is. The last line of this poem says, "In grave situations, I learned it's important to listen and not let things said get in the way of what I hear." This, for him, was the appropriate response. So, yeah, that was my prepared talks. At this moment, I am Master Ma. I feel well. I probably look decent. But I am unwell. I'm not sun-faced Buddha or moon-faced Buddha. I'm terrified Buddha. So my superintendent is saying to me, "How is your venerable state at this very moment?" My venerable state is, I'm terrified and I have to use the bathroom. And I wanted to end with something personal, to say that we are all, at some point, Master Ma. We are all, at some point, Zhuigan. We are all, at some point, the superintendent. And I hope that we will pay attention to that when we have to.